Why, hello. Welcome to a whole new world. I know, right? It's me. Yeah, hi, how's it going? This is SkyFactory 1, just released on CurseForge and AT Launcher by Darkosto, and it is a throwback to the original SkyFactory 1, but I think that there's a couple of improvements and things like that, along with being a 1.16.5 Minecraft mod pack. So I decided to jump into it. I didn't want to do all the early game stuff, like you chop down a tree, you cut down more trees, you expand your platform, you get more dirt through, all the barrels and such to get dirt, and you get a whole bunch of logs in the process, all that fun stuff. I didn't really want to get into all of that on recording. It's just kind of, it's okay. Built up a nice little cobble gen with an infinite water source. Pretty straightforward for the most part. I did have to use oak crucibles though, because we are in, if you look in the very bottom left, we are in eroded badlands, so we get no rain here. There's pros and cons to that, but you do have to use the crucibles then to get the stuff, and it is a bit of a throwback because it is a straight up just handwritten book. This is the way it used to be. And as you can see, I've checked off a few things in the tier 1. We've got a cobblestone generator. We've automated one, and that's right there in front of us. I've infested trees with silkworms, sieve and mesh, all that kind of stuff, collect rainwater, etc., etc. So we've done a decent amount of at least some early game stuff that, in my opinion, is pretty basic and across the board straightforward. As you can see, we have a cobble gen tier 1 with a hopper going into a drawer here, collecting up a whole bunch of cobblestone. I have myself the simple little automated dirt farm here. So, like I can take, for example, saplings or anything like that, and I can throw them in the top chest and it'll automatically compost those bad boys up pretty nicely. I'm gonna just crank that down just a little bit more, and yeah, that's kind of where we're at. And this is a good, I think this is a decent little starting place for us to get into things. I've been doing some sieving, stuff like that. As you can see, I have some chunks of some different materials and all that kind of stuff, and we kind of want to basically get ourselves into, if you follow this, it says to build a proper house. You don't have to follow this in order, right? You really don't. But I think that there's some things that we can do that aren't really on this list that, in my opinion, probably should be, in terms of like a progression, right? Like a lot of people don't know potentially the progression or what to do, and that's what I'm gonna do to try to help you out. So once you get your automated cobblestone like you have here, you're gonna want two things. One thing is you're going to want a way to process this cobblestone. Okay, now cobblestone itself we are not overly interested in, except for maybe building materials, stone, etc. But what we are really interested in doing with cobblestone is turning it into gravel. Okay, this is the biggest thing. You can do it manually with a hammer in your hand, right, to get gravel. Gravel then sieves into all the resources basically, right, except for a few, but it gets you diamonds, emeralds, all the main materials. Okay, so how do we do this? How do we convert stone into gravel, right? That is the current goal that we would have. Now, a material stonework factory would work, but it's a little expensive. We don't have that capability. Casting basin doesn't really get us what we need. That's a good way to get mossy, but not really what we're looking for. I think the best option, if I'm not mistaken, is to jump into thermal series. Okay, thermal expansion as most people know it. So as you can see here, with a pulverizer, with some cobblestone, you get gravel, sand, and flint, right? Pretty straightforward, nothing too crazy there. So that is one of my goals to end today, is to have power, a pulverizer, and start building up the system to automate some of these items. So what do we need to do to get there? That is a great question. And I think the first step here is I want a better way to process these ores. And when you actually put them in the smeltery, you get 4 ingots, right, per setup, right? Whereas if you did like a seared smelter, you only get 2. If you smelt it, it's a 1-to-1, right? So what I want to do is I want to get myself a little bit of a smeltery setup going on here. So without further ado, I'm going to get started on that. All right, so a quick seared heater down here on top of a seared melter is the first thing that you're going to need to basically get towards a actual smeltery controller. You know, those are things of the past that you would potentially look to see. And then from there, you need a couple of additional items. You're going to need a seared faucet, and you're going to need a casting basin. Now, luckily enough, these 2 items you can use again, which is fabulous. But there is one item that we really won't get the opportunity to use. So let's remove this heater like so. That's one of the nice things that you can do here. You should be able to put it in and then pour out that copper on top of that heater. Now, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it should have taken 4, and I believe we had 4. I actually don't remember anymore. No, it's locked. We're short. We're short, everyone. Oh, dang. Okay. Well, you know what? I goofed. I goofed a little bit. And you know what? I'm going to recover. I'm going to recover this goof because I can, right? Boom. We're going to get ourselves a fuel tank. This is something we're going to use for our smeltery anyways. And now we can finish up with a little bit of lava for this next step here. Boom. Just like so. Love it. I only have 1 in there, though. That's a problem. That's a problem. All right, there we go. Fix that up a little bit. All right, anyways, so now we have lava. I do have to get a little bit more copper. I'm hoping 1 more will do it here. I'm trying to be resourceful as much as I can with my items here, but, you know, it's one of those things. So there we go. We got another ingot and nugget, and I think that should be enough. Boom, there we go. And now we have ourselves the smeltery controller. That is fantastic. So what we can do now is we can remove most of these items because I believe we have everything that we more or less require to start off with on this smeltery, okay? Now, I don't really have a place for it yet, so let me do a little bit of building here, and then we'll place down this controller. All right, so didn't do anything too crazy or special with the build, but, you know, quick little shoot that required an additional 2 copper. We got ourselves a basin, we got ourselves a table, I got the tank with the lava over yonder, and we have ourselves a small 2x2 smeltery. Now, I will expand this out to a 3x3 at one point in time. I just don't have the resources on me at the moment. But in the meantime, what we're going to do is we're going to throw a gold ore chunk in there. That's our first ore that we're smelting down. And the main reason for that is so that we can get ourselves a few different casts and things like that. So, you know, using one of those seared bricks that you had from building all of this stuff, you know, maybe there's 1 left over, but any ingot really works for it. Hello? Why is that not working? Why is it not working? It's supposed to work. Even the thing says it's supposed to work. You know what? Let's do this. Let's do this. 1, 2. Let's see if it works with a brick. It should. It says that it works, so I'm a little confused at the moment. I think I have the... Oh, wait a minute. I am a dingle fritz. Ha ha ha. Look at me go. I built the wrong item. Yes, I did. So this guy here, this chute is for items, not for liquids. Haha, whoopsie, whoopsie. That's why I just messed up. That's okay though. Let's see, what is the other one called again? Seared duct? Yeah, I think that's the one we need. Cobalt. Oh yeah. I don't have cobalt. It can't. Seared drain. There we go. Okay. 2 copper. Yeah, I built the wrong one. That sucks big time. but it's okay. We will smelt up these pieces of copper and get that going. I'll just have to do a little bit more work over at my sieves to get this thing done, which I might move those over here, kind of behind the station, at least for now, just to kind of, you know, you got lava. My thought process is lava will automatically generate and get put into the fuel tank. We will have our cobble and things here working away, and then we can put them into the smeltery. So I guess that's a good point. Make sure that you are building the correct seared item. Both are really good to have, don't get me wrong. They're both going to be required in the long run, but you know, for us here anyways, the drain would have been a little bit more important than the chute. The chute definitely helps a little bit later on when you're mass throwing items into the system, but not quite otherwise at the moment. All right, so we are kind of in the final steps. I have almost everything ready to go here. We are missing a couple of resources for right now, but we're almost there. We're almost there. I got to get a little bit of sand here. Boom, boom, boom. Just like so. And we got to get that cooking up as well. But in here, we have made Invar, right? And the reason I'm making Invar is we need a source of power. And one of the best sources of power that we have available to us is actually this guy right here, our little bit of lava that we do have. We can at least utilize this a little bit to get some of the resources and things that we actually want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a magmatic dynamo to utilize the power so that we can then power up our pulverizer that we've pretty much have ready to go. And that way we can get things all done and up and ready. Okay, so let's, without further ado, get to work on some crafting here. So the magmatic dynamo is pretty straightforward. We need to get ourselves an Invar gear. I probably will get a gear die cast here shortly as well, because I do think that that will be beneficial in the long run, but it's just one of those things that we will get to soon enough. All right, boom, and magmatic dynamo. Beautiful. Step one complete. The next one here that I want to be getting is the pulverizer right here, this guy. And for that, we need to get ourselves a machine frame, which requires that glass that I was just cooking up. So let's get that guy going. Boom. One machine frame. Excellent. And 2 copper gears like so. And voila. Oh, I forgot the flint. There we go. 2 flint. And there we have it. There we have our pulverizer. Excellent. Mission more or less accomplished here so far today. This is one of the things that I definitely wanted to get set up. So without further ado, what I'm going to do is I am going to basically make sure, wow, these things are picking up like crazy levels. What I'm going to do is I'm going to position this accordingly to try to make the best of our current situation with what we have here. I will have to do some off-camera, you know, stuff, get organized a little bit better than what I have, you know, with this ugly platform and all that kind of stuff. But the whole point that I'm getting at here is I'm going to have my pulverizer like so. I'm going to have my magmatic dynamo going directly into it. Hello? Can we go directly in, please? Is it this way? Yeah, there we go. Okay, perfect. And then for right now, because we're going to keep it pretty simple, pretty straightforward, I'm just going to run on over, put in a couple of buckets of lava. Nothing crazy, right? Nothing too crazy going on at the moment. So this guy here is now supplying us with, I believe it's 40 RF per tick. It is. And utilizing that lava to power up our pulverizer. Now the pulverizer can hold about 50,000 RF, all that kind of stuff. And, you know, you will see here, if I take, say, 16 cobble, just as an example, and I throw that in the pulverizer, it's going to start to work, and it's only using 20 RF. So we're inputting 40, it's using 20. We should always have a surplus of energy. And as you can see, we've got gravel coming out. Beautiful. The other thing that we can do is we can add a catalyst to this. That is the flint. So if you look at this, the optional catalysts are as follows, and each one of those provides a different benefit, right? So if you hit a use case on the flint, that's the letter U on your keyboard, it'll actually show you that your primary modifier has a 1.1 times chance, your auxiliary has a 1.5, and your energy is 1.1, and it only has a 20% use chance. So, as you can see, nothing too crazy here. We just have a better chance of getting sand, gravel, and I can't remember what the other one is, but is it diamond? I wish it's diamond. I don't know what it is, to be honest. Let's just do this and go to pulverizer. Keep it simple. It's more flint. So there you go. So we actually have the potential chance of just keeping our flint replenished through this system in the catalyst category. So either way, this is a huge win. We definitely need to improve our lava generation. That is for sure. Because as you can see, we are already starting to run out. But we are also at the point now where it's only, you know, outputting as it requires, right? This process takes time, but this is one of the first steps into kind of getting a more automated setup for your system. The big thing here is that we are at the point now where maybe I don't have to hammer as much cobble, as much gravel, you know, things like that. Compared to before. So it's just those little tiny details. The other thing that we could look into as well is a form of pipe, whether that's item pipes. This would be potentially possible, or the basic item pipe here from Refined Pipes. That's also doable as well. Pretty straightforward, nothing too crazy for a lot of this stuff. I might try to get myself some of the refined pipes here. In the meantime, let's just throw this in there, and I should really put a hopper on that, but that's fine. We'll get the full 9 going there as well. And look at that. Oh yeah, we're making more flint than we're even using at this point in time, and you're getting the modifier. It really is a no-brainer to just automatically throw in the flint, especially as a catalyst here, because it really just will make the most sense overall for your output and your use of fuel. But there we go. We got ourselves at least a little bit of gravel, a little bit of sand, all that fun stuff, and we can make more lava, right? That's the nice thing about this. It's pretty easy to just throw in some cobble and make some lava, right? So anyways, I think that's where we're going to call it. I got 2 full blocks of iron. It feels really, really nice. And yeah, I think next episode I'm going to do a little bit of building and a little bit of tweaking of things. It'll probably look a little bit different around here because, you know, this was just to demonstrate. I think I will actually do a little bit of a lava farm. We don't need this cobble gen here anymore, period, because we have this one. So I might do a bit of a lava farm into magmatic dynamos, into our pulverizer setup, just to make things a little bit more automated overall. So that's one of my goals, and I think without further ado, let's just get a quick item pipe and see how these guys are doing. Like so, right? And then we go configuration and allow it. Really? There we go. Okay. 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 Yeah. Does that work? We probably need some form of a wrench or something. At refined. At refined pipes. Pipes. There we go. Oh no. What do you do with this? Oh. Do I have to change this? I don't know. I'll have to figure it out, I guess. It's been a while since I've used a lot of this stuff. Can I just use like a stick? No. I can place a stick, though. I did not know that you could place a stick. That's actually pretty cool. Anyways, either way, we will get this system up and running and working according to plan. Probably need a wrench of some sort, and I'll get that done accordingly. But yeah, other than that, that's really about it for today's episode. I appreciate you all checking it out. If you did, slap that like button, do all that fun stuff, and we'll catch you next time. Bye-bye for now.